Guys and girls, it's know it time!
Alright, here we go. Trig part 2. To work with trig part 2, you need to know part 1. I'm going to give you y equals to, guys, that's good, sine theta plus 2. Actually, I'm going to make it a bit more challenging. Y equals to negative 3 sine theta plus 2. Every one of these numbers tell a story. If I give you an equation, you got to know the story behind each number. For example, I'm going to circle 3 colors. Tell me the story. Alright, I'm going to use 3 colors to circle numbers. Potato, potato, you know. Guys, girls, my first one. Negative sign. It's negative. Okay. Robert, what does that negative do? X-axis, Mulan. That's our code word, Mulan. Okay. If you want to hear the song, I'll play it for you later. Great song. Okay. I don't know. And Grumpy, there's a song about you in there. It's called "I'll Make a Man Out of You." No, seriously. It's a great song. I love that song. Amplitude. And finally, don't forget this is your vertical displacement. It's a great song. It's one of my favorite songs, seriously. We'll play it for you later while you're working.
How does Asian music go? Like
Asian music? It has people popping in. I have no idea. Alright, here we go. See, 3 things you learned last time. Today, I'm going to teach you something called phase shift. Okay, PS, phase shift. So when I use the abbreviation PS, this is called phase shift. Now, phase shift really in English it means left/right. That's what it really means. In order to understand phase shift, it's a bit tricky. I'm going to load up some graphs for you to see again. So I'm going to go y equals to sine open bracket theta minus pi. Okay. See, the first thing you should notice is, look, this pi is in brackets. And another thing you should notice is, look, I'm not using any degrees. It's all radians. When you work with trig, remember, radians is what you learn, never degrees anymore. So I'm going to pause it. I'm going to load up some graphs, and you're going to see about minus pi. You're going to see how this works. So alright guys, so here I have a graph of sine x. I go y equals to sine x minus a. Here's, look what happens when you change a from 0 to 2, and you're going to see what it does. Oh, it's moving. Which way is it moving? That's the key. To the right. See, this minus really is what it does. Let's go back to this. I'm going to highlight this. So you can highlight this, you can circle it. When you have a minus sign, everything is reversed in a bracket. Remember this. Okay? Think reverse. This is where students are having trouble with. Think reverse. Normally, when people say minus, normally minus equals to the left. Normally, if I say minus 4, you go to the left of the number line. But because I'm in the number line, I'm in the bracket, minus goes to the right. Negative is to the right. When it's in the bracket, negative means to the right. So in this case, this is right pi. And this is why I've been asking you to practice label. My period hasn't changed yet. It's still the same period all the time. Period is 2 pi. Remember this for now. I'm going to show you the formula for a period later. for now, we're going to keep it as 2 pi. Okay. In order for you to figure out, so let's draw a little grid. Doesn't matter where. Choose a point somewhere to the right of 0. It doesn't matter where. Take a guess where it is. Okay. I'm going to choose this point, let's say. And we're not starting at 0 anymore. We're going to start at pi. So we're going to label this as pi right now. Okay. Guys, gals, draw in your sine graph. Starting from pi. Doesn't matter where the ending is. I don't just go for it. Okay. Just sine graph up, down, and up again. See? I don't really care that I don't have any labels yet. Label your highest point and label your lowest point. Sorry? See, this is 1. This is -1. Yep, because your amplitude is 1 right now. Because your equation of y equals c, the number here is 1. And there's no vertical displacement. So this number is 0. Here is where a lot of you will have trouble with. I'm going to show you the secret to getting these points right here. Remember, you got to have the ending point. You have the middle point. The key is to get ending. Here's the trick to get ending. It goes to the story like this. Okay. There's the race. Every time you're stuck on how to label the ending, you remember the story. Once you understand the story works, you figure out how this works. Everyone starts a race at 3 p.m. Okay? Everyone starts a race at 3 p.m. It takes 1 hour to complete the race. Every time you're stuck to label, go back to the story and see how you can do the story, okay, to complete. What time is it when they complete the race? When the race ends. Okay. This is an easy concept that you're going to use and apply to something in grade 12 level. This is a question maybe grade 4s, and if you have a brother and sister in grade 3, they should be able to answer this. Banna, what time does the race end at? 4. How do you get 4 though? You went 3, your starting time, then what do? Plus an hour, because that's how long it takes. Guys, gals, this is my race. I start at pi. It takes me 2 pi to complete the race, because period means how long it takes to complete a race. What is your ending going to be? 3 pi. Same thing as the race concept. A lot of students can't label the end because they can't relate this. So this here is actually 3 pi. I'm going to pause it, and I want you to label this point, and of course I want you to label this point and this point. So if you're stuck, I have this point and this point. I need to get the middle right here. And I taught you there's a middle formula. You add these two together, pi, and divide by 2. So I'm going to do it on the side for you. Pi plus 3 pi divided by 2. And that gives you 2 pi. Okay, no tricks. Now I'm going to find the middle again. You do the exact same technique. Pi plus 2 pi divided by 2. Bikram, what's in here? 3 pi by 2. See, everything is based on symmetry. This is what students don't understand. They think there's some sort of memorization trick. But really, it's all based on symmetry. I just need 1 point and I can get the rest using basic tricks. 2 pi and 3 pi. I'm looking for halfway between. I'm going to read what's here? 5 pi by 2. Guys, gals, that's it. Was it that hard? No, not really. Try this.
And you always divide it by 2 or 3?
That's it. Yep, just like if you get 10 on exam and your friend has 20 on exam, you add your 2 scores together and you divide by 2. Average thing. That's the whole point behind midpoint formula. Guys, gals, try this. Same concept. This is called phase shift. You got to learn how to work with it. Remember your period. I'm going to write this down because a lot of you don't know what period is yet. Period. Period is the time it takes for one cycle. Just like I'm completing a race. If it takes me 1 hour to complete a race, that's my period. Okay. Here is your next question. Y equals to, I'm going to start off easy. Negative cos. Be careful, I'm going to use brackets. Anytime you have brackets, there's going to be shifting involved. Theta plus pi by 2. I want you to sketch the graph and label. The key, the really new thing here is the positive pi by 2. That's the only really new thing there is. Abraham, where do you think it's going to shift? To the left or to the right? To the left, to the left. Everything you need to draw is to the left.
So if there's a negative in the bracket, we put the right, and if it's positive, to the left.
Everything is twisted inside a bracket. Okay? Because normally you think plus is to the right, but then it's twisted. Okay? Just like me. Twisted. Hey, while you're working that. So if you're stuck, first thing, let's draw a grid. Let's just draw a grid right now. Grid. Okay. And first thing, I notice the shifting to the left. So I know I'm going to start somewhere here, and I'm going to choose a point, anywhere you like. We'll call this negative pi by 2. See? Done. This is one more thing you got to be careful about. There's another key. There's a negative sign right there. So, unlike a sine graph, Amrapal, where am I starting? Highest point or lowest point? The bottom. So put a dot right there. That's my bottom. Okay. I want you to go ahead and draw in your nice curve now. Okay. So I know the cos graph is going to start from bottom, go all the way up. All the way up. And once it's up, there's only one other way it can go. Down, down to Chinatown. Down, down, down. See? Some of you say, so how do you know those are the exact coordinates that it hits? I don't know yet, because I don't know what my coordinates are. Once you have this, I want you to label your y-axis now. My amplitude has not changed. So I'm going to just label the highest point. Kieran, what's the highest point going to be? 1. Just Kieran, what's the lowest point? No. Amplitude, the negative just tells me that there's a reflection. Amplitude is 1. Yep. Because there's no number here. Amplitude just means 1 if there's no number. Now, here comes the fun part. You got to label your ending. Here is my ending, right here.
Could you just say negative pi by 2 plus?
So it goes back to the story. You start a race at 3 p.m. It takes you 1 hour to complete the race. You'll be at 4 p.m. Think of your period, which is 2 pi. It's always 2 pi for now. I'm going to show you how to change it later. As the time it takes you to complete your race. If you start at negative pi by 2, it takes you 2 pi to complete the race. Figure out what number goes here. You add them together. So let's show you. So to get this box right here, we take my starting time, which is negative pi by 2. Doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. I take my starting, just like you're starting at 3 p.m. I'm going to add the time it takes me to complete one race, which is 2 pi. No, I'm going to show you how to change it later. Guys and gals, I guarantee you a few of you will make mistakes here. It's a common mistake students will make. A lot of you will say the answer is 3 pi by 2. That's wrong. Wait, no, hang on. Sorry, a lot of you will say pi by 2 because you're just adding.
I was like, what?
Common denominator, remember. So this becomes really negative pi by 2 plus 4 pi by 2. And in here, what you really get is 3 pi by 2. So here is 3 pi by 2. But we're not done yet. I'm going to leave the rest to you now. I'm going to pause it again. I'm missing again halfway, which is there. I'm missing this point right here and this point right here. Take your time, and I want you to fill those in. I'm going to pause. So guys, you actually missed out. I forgot to record, but here is where it works. Next. If you forgot where these came from, use the midpoint formula, and this will get you here. Next one, which is your last one, and I'm going to merge everything that you've been learning together. This is called changing your period. Now, if you worked with period before, you know it's really challenging. Oh, Ryan, come on.
Hey, it's a clean
Yeah, what is wrong with you guys? Grow up, man.
coming from Jasmine.
Leave the class or something, man.
P, there's a formula for a period. You can actually find your own period anytime you like.
Can kick out too.
2 pi over b. That's the formula to calculate your period. B. I'm going to show you what b is. B is the number in front of theta. That's b. It's the number in front of theta. For example, I'm going to give you a question. Y equals to sine 2 bracket theta minus pi by 2. Few key things I want you to focus on. I want you to write big star beside this one, because a lot of people make mistakes on their exam. Star. You cannot have a coefficient for theta in a bracket, inside a bracket. I'm going to show you an example, and I'm going to show you what to do. Okay? It says you cannot have a coefficient for theta inside a bracket. This is crucial. A lot of people make mistakes here. Bubble this if you need to.
Does that always mean you have to factor it out?
You always have to factor out. If you don't, everything is wrong. A lot of people make mistakes because they forget this rule. So guys and gals, first of all, I want you to write down what is my phase shift. That's all we're going to do. Then, if you're ready for next step, find your period for me, please. Okay. Carvier, what's your phase shift? Sorry? No idea? To the right, how much? Pi by 2. On the book may just use pi by 2 instead of writing the word, because pi by 2 really is right pi by 2. Now, I like to use the word right, but really, it depends on where people like to look at the answer. Your package uses pi by 2 only, and they say that you're going to assume that means to the right. Period. This is the fun part. Okay. Monica, what's your period going to be? Pi is correct. Pi is not left or right. It just means how long it takes for one cycle. Guys, gals, sketch this now. I'm going to pause it again. We're stuck. Look what I'm going to do. My phase shift, I know, is pi by 2 to the right. Period is pi. Again, draw a rough sketch. Okay, keep it simple. I don't want to make it too tough. Not yet. Okay, just draw a bit. Just a little bit. Not too much. Not a lot. All I want is a little bit. Pi by 2 to the right. Choose any point to the right of 0. I'm going to call this pi by 2. Put in pi by 2. Done. I know this is... Oh, whoa. This is pi by 2 to the right. So, I'm going to draw in my sine graph.
Are you recording?
You didn't write pi by 2.
Yeah. Oh, pi by 2. So now, I'm going to draw in my sine graph. Okay. Again, there's my sine graph. Always, I have my starting point. Now, I need to figure out the ending point. This is the key. Guys, let's take a minute, and I want you to figure out what is this ending point going to be. So we take my little trick. Pi by 2 is my starting. Plus, notice my period is not 2 pi anymore, it's pi. So, go ahead, add it together. That gives you 3 pi by 2. So this point right now is 3 pi by 2. On your exam, you're not done yet. You got to label 3 more points. And you need to label this point next, using the same techniques I've been teaching over and over again. So pi by 2 plus 3 pi by 2. That gives me 4 pi by 2, which is pi. Guys, if you're lost, watch how I got this pi. I went pi by 2 plus 3 pi by 2, but you got to divide it by 2. Guys, gals.
You do that for the first one too, right?
Sorry?
How do you get first 3 pi by 2?
How do you get? You are starting at a race at 3 p.m. It takes you 1 hour to complete a race.
You were starting at pi by 2, and you add your period to it.
Yep. Pi by 2 is your starting time. You're adding, this is how long it takes you to complete my race, pi. So to get the ending time, you add them together.
How do you figure out pi?
You find out
Your friend has,
What was it gonna be pi?
no. Midpoint. Average between these two. Then we use average formula again.
No, she's
This?
asking about period.
Oh, you're getting period? Oh, have you lost where period came from? Here's where I went 2 pi over b, agree? B is the number in front of theta. That's your b value. So I went 2 pi over 2. And that's why it's actually pi. And that's where your period is. So guys, gals, I want you to label this point inside. Okay, so add these two together and divide it by 2 again. So which is 3 pi by 2 plus 2 pi over 2. That gives me 3 pi by 2 divided by 2. So this one would be 3 pi by 4.
Wait, where'd you get?
He just left it as 2 pi by 2. Pi.
For pi, see, to get the middle, I add these two together, agree?
Yeah, where'd you get 4 from?
Where do you get 4? 3 pi by 2 divided by 2 is 3 pi by 4. That's where. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Pi plus 3 pi by 2 divided by 2. Take a minute and you get this. And Aaron, did you get this? What is it? 5 pi by 4. And that's full marks on exam. Oh, but forgot my 1 and -1.
0.
And 0 somewhere here. Now that gives you full marks. I'm going to merge everything together now for your supernova question. Good luck.
5 pi by 2 divided by 2 is 5 pi by 2.
Use their notes right.
Yeah? Hi.
Yeah, I know that.
How do you get 4?
How do you get 4?
Okay, I'm going to show you again 4. So I'm going to add pi by 2 plus 2 pi by 2 is 3 pi by 2.
Isn't it pi by 2?
No, hang on. Then you're going to take this number.
Yeah, but common denominator.
Then you're going to divide this by 2.
So you don't.
3 pi by 2 divided by 2 equals to 3 pi by 4. Because we multiply by the reciprocal. Back in grade 8. So 3 pi by 4. Guys, gals, here is your supernova question for today.
Keep it there.
Good luck with this one. I'm going to merge everything together now. And to speed up, I'm going to give you a short y equals to negative 2 sine 1/2 theta plus pi minus 3. Before you start, I'm going to ask you, what is my amplitude? What is, whoa, this is for your own period. Phase shift. Vertical displacement. Once you get these, I want to see who can draw it. Good luck. All these with full work. Sorry? P is for period, yep. Actually, it's not for princess, don't worry. Stuck. So, to save time, I'm just going to go over the answers. This is 2. Your period is 4 pi. Phase shift, negative pi. Vertical displacement, -3. Now, when I draw this, a lot of people make mistakes if they try to label the graph first. See, that's where the mistakes happen. A lot of people try to memorize numbers and label the graph. The key to doing trig, really, is just go sketch by heart. I know I'm going to start to the left. Somewhere here. We'll call this negative pi. First key point I'm looking for. Did you draw a negative sign graph? If you drew a negative sign graph, I looked at the next phase, which is, did you get the ending point right here correct? To get your ending, we add negative pi plus 4 pi. That's your ending. And which is 3 pi. So I'm looking for 3 pi. A lot of you had 5 pi. Now, to get the middle point right here, I use my tricks again. add these two together, and you divide it by 2. And I believe you should have pi.
Yep.
See, and I know this is -3. My amplitude, this is going to be -1. This is -5. I'm going to use the same tricks again. This plus this divided by 2, which is 2 pi. And this is going to be at 0, dead on. Guys, gals, that took me less than a minute to do. On your test, A students, this is level they have to function at. They look at it, bam, bam, bam. They can see it really quick.
Would you have to make this up?
Yeah, was there. But to save time, your work, page. There will be a quiz on this tomorrow. If you're totally lost, I advise you stick around because you're going to get slaughtered tomorrow if you don't. Page 70. I want you to do number 1. Now, number 2, I know a lot of you are going to have trouble, but try number 2 first before I show you how to do number 2. Because a lot of you will have trouble with that. Number 1 will be tested fair game.
You want us to do number 1 again?
No, this is a brand new question. Page 70 this time. Okay? So guys, gals, that is your lesson for today.
You want me to leave?
Sorry?